Hello and welcome to Gameplate. I am your host Chris, and today I'm continuing our Tale of Kingdoms playthrough. So last time I found a cave and stopped there, so I guess let's explore. One thing I noticed in the last video is that the audio somehow got kind of out of sync, and that was weird, so ooh, I need those. Hopefully it doesn't do that this time. I think last time I was editing, while I was editing, I was doing stuff on the computer, and it did not appreciate that. So let's get. I'm gonna get plenty of cobble. So okay, and we're good. You know what? I'm gonna make some more torches. Alright. So we got some interesting stuff coming, maybe not later this week, but starting next week. We noticed that, well, I noticed that we have a ton of backlog group play videos where, because when we record for like 3 hours straight, and then we then we kind of break that up and then send it out over a couple of weeks. So what I realize is that we have a ton. So if we can keep our backlog up and we can do it for multiple games, we can have one video a week. So what we're gonna do, or one video every day for the week. Brando's not really having any luck with videos. He's not making anything that he's proud of or anything. So what we're gonna do is instead is on Monday we're gonna keep doing this. On Tuesday we're going to do. Actually, I don't know the schedule of the games just yet, but I do know the games that we're gonna do. So we're gonna do Terraria, because Brando picked that up on a sale, so he finally has it. It's gonna be interesting because I haven't played it since it released, and well, really neither has Bun. And then Brando hasn't ever played it at all, so we're all going to kind of be learning as we go. So that's going to be fun, I think, and we're going to probably make people mad because we're so terrible. Let's see, we're also going to do Monaco. We haven't actually done the Terraria recording yet. We're going to try to do that this week. And then we did Monaco yesterday. We managed to get enough for about 6 videos out of it. So we're going to have some Monaco, and then we also have Torchlight 2 and Borderlands 2, which originally the plan was to alternate those on Fridays, do like 6 episodes per run. And I was like, since we have 6 episodes for each one, like in a backlog, we could do one on Thursday, one on Friday, and then do Terraria and Monaco on Tuesday and Wednesday. And the plan is that we'll have some longer form games like Borderlands and Torchlight and, well, Terraria sorta, at least until we get bored of it. And then the last one was kind of like just doing whatever we want, kind of group play, and no long form, just it might be, so it's going to be Monaco for a little while, and then after we finish up Monaco, because it's not a long game, we're going to do probably some Left 4 Dead. We talked about doing Dead Island, but I don't know, I'm a chicken, and that game it's fine until you get to well, when you go inside the hotel, it kind of creeps me out, and then when you go to the city, it really creeps me out because of all the howls and all that nonsense. I'm a really, really big chicken, so we'll see. Another one I wanted to try, there was a Sniper Elite game that was like zombies, and it was only like $15, so I think if we can catch it on a sale for like maybe 7 to $10, I might get it for all of us, and we'll play that instead. I think that would be kind of fun because You know, it's just kind of like Left 4 Dead. You're just running around shooting zombies. Speaking of Left 4 Dead, I was looking at I haven't actually looked at the workshop for that yet. I did it for Torchlight 2, and I looked, and you know, Skyrim has a really big workshop, so I looked at that, but I haven't actually looked at the Left 4 Dead workshop, but there's some really cool stuff on there, like enhanced skyboxes and, you know, some different texture packs and stuff. So I'm gonna check that out and see if we can play with that stuff on, or if, you know, if we have to, everyone has to have this stuff downloaded or not. If we could just have it downloaded on our own, that would be really cool, but I don't know how that'll work whenever we're playing. So in terms of what I've been doing lately, really haven't been playing that much video games. I think I played around 5 hours last week. Didn't really spend a whole lot playing video games. There was just, seemed like there was a ton of different things that I had to do instead. A lot of it involved like spending time with Ashley and stuff like that. But I think the one thing that I spent the most time playing was Metro Last Light. I spent, I'd say, the majority of that 5 hours, maybe like 4.5 or something like that. I spent that playing Metro, and it's, you know, I was one of those people that really enjoyed Metro 2033, so I knew what to expect for this one, and I knew I would probably enjoy it, and I really do. One thing that caught me off guard was the amount of boobage that happens later, and I guess the way that the scene was handled, where you see the majority. I mean, there's a couple of places where you see some boob, and I was like, "Oh, that is a titty." But the scene in particular that I'm thinking of was handled fairly well. I mean, it wasn't like it was this. It wasn't like it was boobs for boobs' sake, though. I mean, they could have had the same scene without the boobs. So I don't know. It doesn't really bother me, I guess, but it caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it. Other than that, though, I really like whenever you're in the game, you can, you know, you can basically get through most areas just sneaking and stuff. I really like to do that, but I like whenever I am sneaking, you have the option to, oh, is this a dead end? Dang, time to go the other way. You have the, I didn't even see this. You have the option to, you know, kill people or knock them out. I think if you knock them out, it might make more sound. I don't remember exactly. But whenever you're moving around, the people that are there just have conversations. And if you pay attention to the story and the context, there are indications of just what type of people you're dealing with. So in that regard, I really enjoyed, you know, when I'm creeping around, coming up with, you know, figuring out who these people are, figuring out what their motives are, what they're doing, figuring out if they're bad or not, and if they're bad, I'm just going to take them out. And is interesting because when you first start, like the first main enemy you come across is Nazis, the Nazis in the tunnels or whatever. So obviously it's like, well, yeah, these guys are Nazis, they're bad, so I don't feel any remorse for them, you know, I don't feel upset for causing any trouble or anything like that. So later you come across a group of bandits, and the very first thing that happens is you come across a pair of them trying to apparently molest some lady. So obviously I, with great haste, took those guys out and didn't feel bad about it at all. But then later in the game, you're going through this warehouse, and it's actually this warehouse attached to this city, and there's really there's an indication that the people in the city are kind of like crooks and criminals and that sort of thing. So there is some sort of indication that they're probably not necessarily good. But since I hadn't seen any anything bad happen other than the fact that they would shoot you as soon as they saw you, kind of thing. I decided to just sneak by them and let them out. Not let them out, but let them live and not bother them. So that sort of thing, I think, is really neat, and I like when games do that. I also like when they give you the moral ambiguity where it's like, these guys aren't really evil. They're not really, they're just doing what they're going to do, but it doesn't line up with what you want. So what are you going to do? I think that was kind of how Deus Ex did. I really like that in Deus Ex, really in all of them, but I think Human Revolution is the one that sticks out in mind to me. So, I know I'm just mining and exploring this cave, getting some good coal and iron and that sort of thing, but really what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to find diamond, but I think I'm not even close to... Yeah, I'm still in 47, so I'm going to have to keep going down to find something like that, which is fun. But be careful. But yeah, I'm only, since I'm only 5 hours into Metro, I would say that if you played the original, which you really should, it's a really good game. If you've played the original and you liked it, you should. I mean, there shouldn't even be a question as to whether you should get the last light or not. I would say that if you got the original on sale and you can wait, you could. I mean, you could stand to get this one on sale as well. There's nothing about it that's like must play, but it's still good. So, yeah, it's definitely a good game. You're actually the main character from the first one again. I don't think I mentioned that, but you're still Artyom. And their accents, I'm pretty sure that at some points they sound fake, like some person is putting on a Russian accent, but I'm pretty sure it's developed in Russia, so it makes me feel like maybe my fake Russian accent is a little better than I thought. But yeah, it's a good game, and you should definitely check it out. So let's see. Actually, I had to go home. Well, I didn't have to, but I went home and saw my parents this weekend. And so while I was there, I didn't have any access to any video games or that sort of thing, except for handhelds. And all it took was my DSXL and my iPad, and or 3DS XL, I mean. And so the games, I think I've already talked about the 3DS games that I have. I've talked about Luigi's Mansion. I'm still relatively early in that game, which it's still really, really good. I can't believe I never played the original, but I guess that was because I never really much cared for the GameCube, so I didn't spend much time on it. Let's see. So one of the things that I did play is I've been playing Sid Meier's... Oh no. Yeah, this will work. Sid Meier's Ace Patrol, Ace something. Basically, it is a board game type thing where you are in control of ships during World War II. And when you download the game is free to download, but it only gives you access to six British missions, and you can buy the rest of the British campaign for like $1. So you can get a pretty good game for $1. And then you also have American, Russian, and French campaigns that you can buy, and I think all of them total is like $5, maybe $4. It's something like that, or you can buy them separate for $2. But anyway, the gameplay of the game is kind of like a flight sim miniature board game. If you've played that recent Star Wars board game, where you're in control of the ships, I think it's called X-Wing or something like that, but you're in control of the ships, and you get maneuvers where you can basically make them bank and dive and do loops and that sort of thing. It's the same idea, And apparently there is an older board game that this idea came from. But I've only recently gotten to board games, so I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's really cool because you can, you as you go along, your people get stronger, and as they get stronger, they get better maneuvers they can do. So they might be able to pull off a ace move where they do this slide, so that they can transition to the next hex tile because it's all set up on a hex grid. They can transition to the next hex tile without having to bank or dive, so they still have their shots lined up if you're, looking straight. And then there's some stuff where it's like if you pass enemy fighter and it'll take forever to bank around to get back to get lined up for a shot. But if you've leveled up and you have the ability with that pilot, you can do like a roll. And just roll, do like a flip or a S roll or whatever they call it, which I think is pretty neat. My only problem with it is, since it is a free game and since they are trying to get you to pay money, there are a few situations where your people can get hospitalized or they can get captured and be a POW. And when that happens, you either have to wait a certain number of turns, like a certain number of battles before they're usable again, or you have to pay real money to get them back. And I think the way it works is you can pay real money to get them back like 3 times, and each time you do that, they get one less battle per in-app purchase that they are required to be out. So say if you crash your ship, or not crash your, but crash your plane, and normally it would take you 5 turns to recover, or 5 battles to recover, I mean. With this, with one in-app purchase, you recover immediately, and then next time if you crash, it only takes 4 turns. So that's a little bit more manageable, and they're like $1 each, so it's not like it's complete highway robbery or anything like that. It's just kind of unfortunate that if you're not very careful, you really do have to do that, because like right now I have 1 pilot left that isn't injured or captured, or their plane isn't damaged, and it's my worst pilot, like the level 1 pilot that I don't use very much. So I really have to, spend the in-app purchase monies to get them back, or else I really can't progress. And that's kind of a bummer, but on the other hand, they did make it $1. So it's not like it's terrible. If you're a person that has a complete loathing for in-app purchases, you're going to despise it regardless. But I think the way this game does it isn't as terrible as most games. It's not like it's completely forcing you to go this route. Technically, I could continue playing and my people would come back. But what happens is, if you're not careful enough, if you're not good enough, you run the risk of these guys basically lose. You run the risk of having all of your pilots incapacitated. Which, if that happens, I guess then you could spend the money, so you could probably keep going. But I'm kind of a perfectionist about stupid stuff like that, so I really want to do really, really good. So it's kind of weird. It always weirds me out when I find clumps of dirt this far down. Oh well. We'll just leave that one right there. Looks actually like we're coming. Oh no! I'm getting kind of close to the end. I would like to at least get to where I need to be for the diamonds. So I think it's between 16 and 0. Is that right? I don't know, but I think it's right. So that's what I'm going to do. Another game that I've been playing on the iPad is Space Command, Star Command, Star Command. Um, Spoiler: I actually did the website for that game. Um, so I'm a little biased because I've been really excited for the game and was so excited that uh, reached out to the team and offered to work on their website for them so they could focus on the game. Um, and I'm actually in the credits, which is pretty amazing. I've never been in the credits for something before. So that was really cool feeling. But I just wanted to talk about the game a little bit. So it released a few weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago. They've already sent out a few updates for bug fixes and stuff, and they actually added in a beginner difficulty level, which is good because on normal the game's pretty tough, and there's 2 difficulties higher than that, so it can get really, really hard if you really are into that kind of thing, which I'm not. So I managed to make it to the final mission on normal. I just really had trouble beating it because it's a tough fight. It really is. So when they released the beginner difficulty level, I went and started a new game and went through that, and really it's kind of a shame because on normal it's pretty tough. I would say their normal is like a hard for everybody else, but their beginner is really easy. So the way the game works is you're in command of this starship. It's very Star Trek like, where you have your crew, and your crew are assigned to certain areas, and those areas can be leveled up and things like that. But you're basically going across the galaxy investigating these happenings. So the way the combat works is you have your weapon rooms, which have your guns, so you can have like a laser gun, a torpedo, or a machine gun. And technically the machine gun, oddly enough, is the strongest, I think. It just takes longer to recharge. So in terms of overall balance and speed, I think maybe the torpedoes are the best, but the torpedoes require a I'm gonna block that off real quick like that so I know what's going on. Anyway, the torpedoes require ammo. Certain rooms, like there's a shield room and there's an engineering like engines room, and there's another, I guess it's a dodge room. I don't know how you would explain it, but basically these rooms to use these abilities require ammo. So you have a recharge on the actual use of the ability, and then you have ammo. I am trying to get down there without falling, so I need to find where that would be. I'll stick that there. Okay. So I'm still not into the wall yet. Looks like there's fun. Oh, not there. Oops. Jeez. Alright, I'm gonna have to jump down and then work my way back up. Yeah, I'm right in the center of a room. Hey, redstone! Hey! Why'd I do that? Alright. So I originally came out here. I want to work my way up to here. So Whoops. Oh, I didn't actually stagger this for stairs. Whoops. Oh well. Let me clean this out some. Alright. So, we're at 25 minutes. So that means I'm pretty much at the end of this, and I actually need to go up and get more picks and drop off some of this stuff. So, I'm going to probably go back and end it there. I would say that if you have an iOS device, you should, and you are into a strategic sim type thing that's also really difficult, I would check out Star Command. It's like $3 or something. It's, for the amount of game that it is, it's really not that bad. And the touch controls are really cool. There's little mini games that fire whenever you try to shoot the guns and stuff, and it gives a little bit of a challenge and stuff like that. So you should definitely check it out and let me know what you think. I didn't actually work on the game per se, but I do have a little bit of a pride associated with it because it was something that I was part of. So yeah, I think I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, get rid of some stuff, and I will, next time we're going to go back down there and explore that. I'll make some more picks, hopefully, if I remember, and yeah, if you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so by commenting on this video below. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. It's twitter.com/Gameplate. We are on YouTube, obviously. It's GamePlateChannel. Subscribe if you like the videos that we produce, and keep in mind we're going to start doing a daily video starting, I think we're going to start next week. With that in mind, there's probably not going to be a video this Friday, but I think that'll be fine, just so that we're on track for next week. And finally, you can reach us through email if you don't want to do any of the social media ways. It's GamePlateChannel@gmail.com. And until next time, have a great day, everyone.